Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of pointless things. Why are we flying by as Pointless Statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is Mother Goldskimmer, and Mother Goldskimmer has started a church in the sewers. And she used to be Sister Goldskimmer, a goblin priest trainer that was seen at the entrance to the KTC headquarters on Kazan. And she would always be seen standing on a big pile of gold asking for tithes and donations, and I guess we know where that went. And back then she used to say,
"You don't have to be a priest to tithe. Your coin is just as welcome, sir."
but now she's located in her underground sewer church, and when you talk to her she says,
"Looking to reserve your front row seat in the afterlife? No post-mortem refunds."
and she also has a bodyguard, and she also has an accountant. So obviously the two most important things you need when starting your own sewer church. But yeah, I wanted to put her on the list because I always enjoy when they take characters that you don't really know that well. You've seen like one or two times, like maybe you made a priest and you're like, oh, this is a funny little thing. And now you're like, oh yeah, I remember them. And you see how they've advanced in their own little subplot. I don't know. I think it's really cool when they do that. It adds to the world. And it was also fun to just stumble across this random sewer church. And I was like, wait, what's going on? So that was pretty fun, and that's why Mother Goldskimmer is number 10. 9. Number 9 is two things, one of which is this puddle of water from the leaking pipes above. It's a very pointless top 10 selection, I know. And the other is this gill goblin that is getting water dripped onto them from this pipe, and they're really loving it because obviously they're a water goblin. So if you don't know what a water goblin is, they're sometimes called gilblins, gill goblins, or water goblins, and as quoted from Crazy Larry in the Swamp of Sorrows, don't know where they came from, but they're like awful fish goblins, gills and everything. But you know what? This gill goblin seems to be having a great time. There's this leaking pipe, right? And the water's just pouring out from above. It's almost like one of the attractions you see at a water park, but at a, I don't know if I'd call this a water park, but it's probably as close as you're going to get in the Undermine. There's also a swimming pool nearby that definitely does not have the freshest water, so I can see why she chose this over the swimming pool. And then, like I mentioned earlier, there's this area where the pipe is just leaking down water and forming this little puddle on the dirt, and there's mushrooms growing all around it, which I thought was really cool. In fact, this kind of gave me Steam Vault vibes, or like Zanger Marsh vibes, where there's a lot of leaking water and mushrooms and stuff all over, which I didn't think I was going to get Zanger Marsh vibes from a random area in the Undermine, but I do, so I wanted to put it on the list, and that's why both of these things are number 9. 8. Number 8 is Hob Ross, and I think we can all figure out what this is a reference to. And he's wearing this big green robe, and then he's got his paint palette and his big brush, and he's kind of just staring at his painting. He's not really painting. I guess he's admiring his work, and everybody's behind him like, yeah, keep painting, Hob Ross. And I guess this must be his art school, because there's numerous other people around here that are also painting and trying to be as good as Hob Ross, but obviously nobody's as good as Hob Ross. But little known fact, this is actually not the first Bob Ross reference in World of Warcraft. In Dragonflight, there is a quest called The Joy of Painting, and it's located in the Azur Span and starts at Ravros, Rauvros, and the chain takes you through numerous quests such as Sad Little Accidents, Even Trees Need Friends, Beat the Demons Out of It, and Happy Little Accidents. So if you haven't done that, you can go do that, and it actually awards you with the Artist's Easel toy. Or actually, you know what? Maybe that entire quest chain is inspired by Hob Ross, and we were just all fools. We didn't know about Hob Ross until now. And so that's why Hob Ross is number 8. 7. Number 7 is the fake environments, and I really appreciate how much effort the goblins put into making this giant underground area feel like we're actually outside. You have all these fake clouds in the sky and the lights pretending to be stars. You've got the sun, moon up top. You've got like these wooden palm trees. There's even like a flamingo. Like, I think it's so cool. And I think what I like most about it is they actually have variety. Like, there's a couple different palm trees. It's not just one palm tree. There's like a couple different ones. And then there's some, I don't know what they'd be called, like oak trees. I guess they'd be a type of oak tree or something. Either way, they got that, and then they've got like some bushes all around that too, and they painted on flowers. Like, I don't know. I love what the goblins did here. Like, they went above ground, they saw nature, and they were like, how do we bring this nature down underground where we live? And this was their plan. This is how they did it. And you know what? I applaud their creativity. Good job, goblins. I think it's great. And so that's why the fake environments of Undermine our number 7. 6. Number 6 is the entire quest chain involving the Knights of the Brown Table. And although this isn't specifically in Undermine, it was a part of the Undermine patch. And so I wanted to include it because I've already done top 10 kobolds, and this was such a cool little quest that I was like, I gotta put this in the video. And so you talk to the Verdigris Knight, who I believe is supposed to be like the Green Knight. This thing is just loaded with King Arthur references. So if you like King Arthur or Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you are going to love this quest line. So you talk to the Verdigris Knight, and he's like,
Think you brave? Been looking for brave, but not find much. Not sure you count. Look like Tenderfoot who runs home to Granny if scrape knee. How about wait to prove it? You hit me as hard as can. Try kill me. If I not dead, then I get kill you later. Not look like it take more than one chop for you. Deal?
and so you hit him, and he's like,
Good hit, but not good enough. Talk to Arthur and his knights. They appreciate bravery.
and so then he runs off, and you go and find all of the Knights of the Brown Table, like Lost a Lot, Bedfear, Mort, and my favorite, Gullhead. And Gullhead says,
Sound like you should have hit him harder. Always going on about knights not being brave enough.
but yeah, I don't want to spoil this quest. I want you to go experience it for yourself because it's really goofy. It's really fun. It's one of my favorite quest lines they've added. And so go check it out. That's why King Arthur and the Knights of the Brown Table, I almost said Round Table, are number 6. 5. Number 5 is the Paw Print Flute. And the Paw Print Flute is a random object you find in the Undermine. And when you play it, it allows you to serenade rats, and these rats will follow you all around Undermine with a little heart above them because they love the music that you're playing. And obviously, this isn't the first time in the game that you have the ability to play a flute and have rats follow you around, because that happens in the Deep Run Tram as part of the low-level quest for the Alliance. And from looking into it, it appears that there's actually 9 different paw print flutes scattered throughout the zone. So you can pretty much go all over the place, and you're bound to find at least one paw print flute, and you can just run around and have these little rats follow you around for 5 minutes. However, the flute does not work on the most gorgeous rat you've ever seen, probably because they're too preoccupied looking at themselves because they're the most gorgeous rat you've ever seen. But either way, this is just a fun little Easter egg item. I'm glad they added it. I think it's cool, and so that's why the paw print flute is number 5. 4. And can you believe it? Number 4 is the most gorgeous rat you've ever seen, because how could I not put the most gorgeous rat you've ever seen on the list? And the rat's standing on a little rug, which is on top of some boxes or crates, and looking into a mirror. And obviously, they have to check themselves out. They are the most gorgeous rat. Although, here's the question. Are they the most gorgeous rat they've ever seen? Because obviously, they're called the most gorgeous rat you've ever seen. But what about them? Do they have self-esteem issues? There's no way. There's no way the most gorgeous rat would have self-esteem issues. But anyway, jokes aside, I think this is a fun little goof thing. I love that there's so many rats in the zone because I'm a big fan of rats. In fact, I did pointless top 10 rats like a year or two ago. So you go check that out if you want. But I will say, if there's one thing I would change here, I think I would put an actual reflection of a rat in the mirror. Because right now, obviously, they're not going to have like realistic mirrors or anything. It's just, you know, a fake mirror. But if they put a little fake rat in the mirror reflecting back at them with like a little bow on, or, you know, something like that, I think that'd be pretty funny. Or I guess you could just put a bow on the actual rat and then put a little thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it's dumb. Either way, that's why the most gorgeous rat you've ever seen is number 4. 3. Number 3 is this weird goblin location where a goblin has a bunch of chained up exotic animals and caged animals, and he's got murlocs, he's got yetis, he's got dinosaurs. Like, this place is kind of crazy. But the weirdest thing is there's a chained up child here, and it turns out this is his child, and she's wearing a mask. And at first you're like, what's going on here? And she's like, grr, rar, rar, I'm a ferocious beast. But when you actually talk to him, you're like, is your kid chained up? And then he's like, yeah, sure is. Kid's got a huge imagination. Last week she was a dragon. Had to put a stop to that once she figured out how to breathe fire in the house, though. Insurance premiums, you know? And then you're like, but why is she chained? And he's like, she's just playing around. It's not locked or anything. So there we go. That's good. We avoided numerous issues. Although I do think this place in general probably has many violations behind it, so that's where the issues come in. But it is a pretty weird, unique place, so that's why I had to put it at number 3. 2. Number 2 is Alice Grillspark, and Alice Grillspark is a chef, but she's also a rat. And so if you do the quest, this is actually one of my favorite quests in the Undermine. There's a goblin that's like, hey, my friend used to be the cook here, and she's not here because she got turned into a rat. She had a terrible sense of smell, so we gave her a potion, but the potion turned her into a rat, which I guess increased her sense of smell, but she's a rat. And so you head out and try to find a cure, and you actually do end up finding a cure. And then spoilers, she doesn't want to change back yet. So they hold on to the antidote for when she does want to change back, but she has become an unbelievable rat chef that is just hopping around, cooking all this stuff. I guess because her sense of smell is so good, her taste is also heightened as well, because, you know, smell and taste are very correlated. And that's really it. It's just a fun little quest about this goblin rat chef that can change back into a goblin, but doesn't want to. And so I just think it's so fun. I'm also impressed with the fact that they can jump onto these burning grills and not hurt themselves. Like, I don't know how they're doing that. Maybe they took a fire resist potion or something, but either way, that's why Alice Grillspark is number 2. And number 1 is Grig. And Grig is a hobgoblin that's located in a garbage can in the Blackwater Marina. And if you talk to him, he says, "You want something?" And you say, "Are you enjoying the marina?" And he goes, "What? Am I not allowed?" It's just that you're in a trash can."
"I'm swimming. It's a hot day in Undermine. I can't swim in my own trash can."
You can swim in the marina instead.
"You come to Undermine and you try to stop me from swimming in my own trash can. Stop arguing with me."
And that's really it. That's Grig. He's just living his life, chilling, swimming in his trash can. However, I did try to look into his trash can, and it appears that there's not really water in there. I don't know if it's just hard to see the water, or maybe it's a glitch. Maybe Blizzard just hasn't added in the water yet, but it doesn't look like there's water in there. But you know what? Whether or not there's water in there is not even important. This is about a hobgoblin just chilling, having a good time, enjoying his vacation, or at least I think he's on vacation. I have no idea. Also, I just realized this is a reference to a video where it was one of the hottest days in England, and there's this man just chilling in his garbage can, and he was yelling at the guy recording a video of him. I forgot that video even existed, and so this is actually a reference to that. I watched it again, and I was like, wow, this really is a reference to it. So there you go. This is actually a reference, but I don't even care. This is still phenomenal, and that's why Grig is number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. If you want more Top 10s, you go check out rats, since we mentioned a lot of rats, and you go learn about more rats. Or you go check out kobolds, since we talked about kobolds as well. Also, consider supporting the channel over on patreon.com/crendor, or by becoming a channel member. Okay? Okay. See you.